Talking to my first-time home buyers, those in the current market right now looking for a home, or if you're thinking about taking the plunge and making this investment, I want to talk to you about some homes that you might just want to avoid. Now, I know this is a huge decision. It's probably the biggest financial decision that you've ever made, and it's an emotional decision. And when those two worlds collide, there's some things that you want to be able to balance throughout the process to make sure you're making the best decision at the end of the day. And there's some homes that you just might want to avoid. Now, we're going to have some blanket statements here and know that there's caveats to everything. But personally, I've bought a ton of homes myself, and I've helped hundreds of clients purchase homes throughout the years. So I have my list. You should have your list, and you should know going into this with your realtor what works for you and what doesn't. Just like anything, you want to have a thesis, something that you can work off of so you go in with a plan. They say if we don't have a target, we don't know what to shoot at. So have your target, and then you can be a little bit flexible, but also get in the know. And I hope through this video, I can give you some knowledge, help you in this process, and step into excitement because you've done something right. Somebody's going to lend you a couple $100,000. Maybe you're getting married. Maybe you're having kids. This is exciting. And you want to have excitement while also being a little bit careful, not too careful. Don't be the dad at the inspection that shows up and picks apart everything, because the truth is no house is perfect. But there are some things that I personally try to avoid whenever I'm purchasing a home and when I'm coaching our clients to tell them to be aware of these things. And at the end of the day, it's their decision. Now, before we get started, if you like this video and if you find any value in it, please like the video, subscribe, get notified when we come out with more videos. And if there's anything with real estate we can ever help you with our nationwide connections, please know that I'm here for you. So the first one we're going to talk about, spend some time on this, is flips. We know there's a lot of flips out in the market. And not every flip is created equally, and you really want to dive into this. So if you walk into a house that's been newly redone, you got to make sure it was done the right way. Now, are there some flips that are great and done the right way? 100%. We'll talk about those. We want to make sure we're not buying the ones that are just lipstick on a pig, Band-Aid on a broken leg. And the truth is, most flippers, they're concerned about one thing, and that is the bottom line. And anything that is more expensive than the bare minimum is eating into their bottom line. So the first thing you can do is simple. It's the eye test. Go in there, take a step back, look for the grout lines. If they're not straight and they're like a treble when I talk into this mic, you know that you're dealing with somebody that didn't use a professional. Go up to the counters, right, or the cabinets, open them, close them. Are they closing correctly? Are they in line? Are they in a straight line? What kind of materials were used, and was everything screwed in the right way? I know, you'd be surprised. Watch when you go and do this. The reason being is if you can see this with the naked eye, trust me, there's some things that have been hidden that you can't see that could be very costly. And the truth is you don't want to throw good money at a bad home. When you buy a house for X amount of dollars and all of a sudden you're spending $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, that's just the cost of the home. And we want to pay attention to your full financial picture here. If you buy a house for $300,000 and 5 years down the road you sell it for $450,000, that seems great on the surface, but what did it cost you to get it there? Same thing a flipper is going to do. And if you buy a bad home, it costs you $100,000, you just lost $100,000. You essentially paid $400,000 for that house and cash out of your pocket. So when you're in these flips, talk to your realtor. Have them reach out to the agent. Ask who did the work. Ask for their phone number. See if they're licensed. Look them up. Have your realtor look them up and make sure that licensed general contractors did the work. Ask for receipts. There's nothing wrong with this. The ones that are done the right way, they're going to give this information because it's a selling point. They want you to know that they used an accredited and sought after contractor to do this work. They're going to show you the receipts. They're also going to show you the permits. Now, I'm not one to get completely caught up in cosmetic permits. If you're not restructuring the home, I don't care. You don't need to pull permits for tile and stuff like that. My personal point of view. Some people, sticklers, they want to see it for all of it. I'll tell you this, you're going to be hard pressed to find a home that pulled permits for cosmetic work. It's not part of the business these days. I hope the state of Florida and other states we do business in aren't looking at me right now saying we're going to go red tag your homes. It's just not norm. It's like the flow of traffic. If everybody's going 80 and the speed limit's 70, is a cop going to pull you over at 78? We hope not. And this is the norm. But roof, electric, plumbing, these things have to have permits. They have to be done the right way because they matter, and you know that you're dealing with a true professional licensed contractor. So have your realtor do the work. If you're saying, I don't have a realtor, get a realtor. You want a realtor. PSA, put me on a soapbox. Don't go into this alone. Just don't do it. You wouldn't defend yourself in a court of law. Don't go spend hundreds of thousands of dollars without the right representation. There's so many things that happen in the background that you don't see. So flips, be careful, give the eye test, have your inspector check everything. You want the inspector with all of this. You want an inspector to go in and pull up the hood on everything. But have the realtor that you're working with make sure they know what they're doing and they're getting this kind of stuff, because some flips are great, right? Renovations from somebody that's living in the home are very different than a flip. You want to make sure it was done the right way. So be careful in the flip world. Get your paperwork done. I know you get in there and you see barn doors everywhere and you're like, oh my God, I have to have this. I love these barn doors. Great. Smoke and mirrors sometimes. You can put in a barn door on any house that you want. Okay. So moving on to something else that we're going to talk about. You want to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, right? Great movie and something that you want to pay attention to. Again, not going to make a blanket statement that you should never buy a house that's close to a highway, close to a busy street, close to a train track, or close to an airport. You just want to go into it knowledgeable. In the real estate world, we have a saying that people will go deaf for anywhere from 10 to 25%. So you might get a discount on this and get into the neighborhood that you want, but at some point you're going to sell this house, most likely. And you want to think a little bit forward about the business side instead of the emotional side on this, and know that you're also going to have to give that discount when you go to sell the house. So take this into account. Here's the thing. You can put those barn doors in. You can put a kitchen in. You can put a pool in. You can put new landscaping in. You can't move the house away from those sorts of houses. And we list these houses all the time, and they sell 100%. And we call every buyer for feedback. And the ones that aren't interested, even if the house is perfect, is because it's a little bit too close to the highway, to the airport, or the planes flying over, or the trains. So this is something that you really want to take a look at, because some people in Florida, we got impact windows everywhere, so you can't really even see the traffic, but there's something about knowing it's there, right? It's like taking all your stuff and putting it in the closet because you got family or friends coming over and you leave it there when they leave. Your house looks clean, but I know, your house ain't clean, dude. You got all this stuff in your closet. Time to clean it out. Just be careful. Take this into account, because again, when you go to sell, if you have 100 buyers and they all love your home, but 80 of them won't buy it because you're close to the train tracks or the airport or the highway, know that supply and demand, right? Your supply of buyers just went down by 80%. It's going to lower the demand. It's going to limit the amount of people you can market to successfully that'll come and buy your house. So pay attention to it. We're going to talk about some big ticket items now. Some things that if the house has, you can still purchase it. You want to be aware of it. You want to be aware of the cost, and you want your realtor to fight for you on possibly getting the seller to either take care of it, give you a credit, or at least split the cost with you. Because these are the things that aren't the sexy part of the home, right? This is not, we'll keep going back to it. This isn't the barn doors, right? First thing we're going to talk about is the plumbing. I know, the funnest part of a home, and that you can't really see. You open up underneath the sink. I'm looking at a sink right there, and all you see is the S-pipe, and everything looks good, but there's so much that goes beneath there, and you have to make sure that you don't have cast iron, galvanized, or definitely not polybutylene pipes. These are extremely costly, can cause insurance issues. They're going to deteriorate over time, even if they're in good shape. And this is what you hear from realtors all the time. It's cast iron plumbing, but it's in great shape. It's at least 50 years old, so it's not in great shape. Sorry for all you 50-year-olds out there. I did not mean to offend you. I'm 42. So listen, I hope to be beautiful and nothing wrong with it in 8 years, but I'm not plumbing, and neither are you. So don't take it personal. The pipes are not in great shape. They might not be cracked or completely fallen in just yet, but you're going to have issues with these at some point in time, so you want to be aware of it. If you purchase the home with these sorts of pipes, just know, do your math. What am I going to have to put into this at some point in time? And again, if you go to sell it, the right agent is going to tell them to get a sewer inspection, and you're going to have to come up with the cost, or at least part of the cost, at some point in time. So be aware of this, know what you're getting into, and the same thing with electric, right? And for both of these things, if they've been done, ask for the permits. Electric is essential, right? Your inspector should go in there, take the panel off, and really take a look at it and find out what you're working with, right? Show me what you're working with. And again, it's not sexy. Nobody, you're not going to call your mom and be like, hey, we saw this house, and guess what? A 40 amp extra breaker was installed. It's not sexy. Is it great and awesome and expensive? 100%. And it's something that you want to know. What's the brand? You need this for insurance companies. These brands are getting taken off these lists, and insurance companies aren't insuring them all over the place right now. I think GE might be paying them to do it because everybody's going there. That's a video all in itself. So make sure that it's done the right way. No cloth wiring, right? No mismatched fuses. Why? Because they're not using licensed people to get the work done. Make sure that the house is grounded. These are things you should know about if you're not an electrician or an agent. If you are an agent, you don't know about it, do your homework. And something that you need to know before purchasing this house so you can do your math. These things are epically important. Roofs. Listen, here's the tough part about roofs. They don't add a ton of value. Are they selling points? Yes. But if we were to take two houses, the exact same finishes, same everything, one has a brand new roof, one has a 20-year-old roof, the appraiser is going to appraise them at the exact same price. You don't get this crazy credit for it. Now, it's a huge plus. Know the effective life. Inspectors are there to raise red flags. They know a little bit about a lot. Some know a lot about a lot. And their main job is to let you know, hey, I'd get a professional over here to take a look at this. And that's what you should do. Spend the extra grip on the sewer inspection. Spend the extra grip on the roofer inspection. The electrical, not always necessary, your inspector will tell you, because this is a costly expense. And especially with the way insurance companies are today, you want to know your costs going in. If a roof only has 5 years left on it and you go to sell in 3 years, you're replacing that roof regardless, or taking care of a major portion of it. Would I never buy a house with an old roof? Absolutely not. I've bought tons of houses with roofs that need to be replaced immediately. I work that into the cost, and you should do the same. If you can't and you still love the house, listen, at the end of the day, this is your decision. And I don't think it's a bad investment, especially if you're going to stay there a long time, because you are going to enjoy this beautiful new roof for the next 20, 25, 30 years, depending on the roof. This is just stuff that you want to know going in. When you get this inspector, if your realtor is referring you to an inspector, I would suggest always do your own research. Make sure that they are going to go in there and tell you every little thing about the house. Not to talk you out about the house. They're not there to kill the deal, but you want to be in the know, right? The more you know, right? G.I. Joe told you to, right? Knowledge is power. You want to know what you're getting into before you buy it. And some of these things can be costly because you've got your sewer. You've got your general inspection. You've got your WINMIT, your 4-point in some states. You've got your pool inspection. You've got foundations that need to be inspected at times. If your inspector tells you there's something wrong with the foundation, personally, I'm not bringing in an engineer to find out. I'm out. If this house wasn't built on the correct foundation, on the right sort of soil, and dug the right way, and all these different things that can happen with a foundation, peace, I'm going to find another house. I don't want this. Look for cracks that aren't straight. Listen, a straight crack can be drywall that's at the seam. It's normal, right? But if you start to see cracks like this, you might have some issues, and your inspector will know about this. These are the things. Get the extra inspection, pay it up front so you can sleep at night. Water damage. If a house has water damage, make sure you go and get the mold inspection. If there's been an insurance claim for water damage, get all of the receipts and see who did it. Make sure the remediation was done the right way. Get excited. Stay in excitement. This is awesome. And there's usually, if you're a couple, there's usually the one person that's super excited, the other person who's going through with like a flashlight, right? Find the happy medium with that, because this is an awesome time in your life. You're going into a new house, a place where life's most cherished memories, some good, some bad, but all the memories that you're going to make, most of them are done in a home, and that is an awesome, awesome thing. So if I could ever help you with anything real estate, know me and my team in Florida are here for you, and we have an agent in every city in the country that we can refer you to that does business just like we do. We're here to help. My information's below. You can call me, text me, email me, send a raven. We're here to help with all your real estate needs. And thank you so much for watching.